What's going on, everybody? It's Dan Moonshine, the Hillbilly Hellraiser. How you doing? I'm doing all right. Can't complain. It's been kind of a murky week here in Florida. It's been raining a lot. It's been really kind of like gross weather outside. So for the most part, I've been staying inside outside of going and doing my gym stuff and all the other mundane activities that I got to do to kind of keep the ship afloat. It's my weekend, so I just figured I would, and it's also the end of the month, so I figured, as I've been trying to do, I haven't been doing a great job at it, but at the same time, figured I'd try and keep up as far as doing more like a compendium of end-of-month releases. Just a bunch of stuff that I've listened to that I liked, stuff that I would recommend checking out, that's worth your time and effort. July itself has not been what I've noticed is a great month for releases. It seems like a lot of the stuff, there's not really a lot of noteworthy stuff coming out. I think probably as far as I would say legacy bands go, probably the biggest thing to come out would be Moonspell. They put a new album out, but I'm not really a huge Moonspell Moonspell guy, so I think last time I even heard their name mentioned was back when Wolfheart came out, but beyond that, I just never really gave them much time of day, and I'm sure they're good. I know people like them. They've been around forever, so there's got to be something to them, but I just remember seeing them back in the day in Metal Maniacs when I was going to college, and beyond that, didn't really, I thought they had a good look and the aesthetic and all that, but beyond that, I never really listened to them. But that's probably the biggest, I would say, aside from maybe as far as like bigger acts. I know Avenged Sevenfold put something out. They put out an EP that everybody's trashing, even like, because I don't listen to them, so I couldn't tell you, but I do have a coworker, she likes them, and she said the thing is ass, so I gotta tend to believe. I've seen 2 different YouTube reviewers plus somebody I know in my actual life who have said the thing sucks, so it probably does. It kind of sounds like it went along the Motley Crue lines of garbage, and probably whatever, like as far as that mainstream stuff, like the Five Finger Death Punch and all that sort of stuff. But anyhow, so let me get into this. So I pretty much, point being is that a lot of, for the most part, if you're interested in hearing any new releases for the month, you had to tap into the underground. So absolutely, that's what I did. I'd say the first album I can mention is the band Nothingness. They put out an album called Godslaughter. It's on Everlasting Spew Records. It's their 3rd full length. They're a 6-piece from the home of Minneapolis, of Jesse the Body Ventura, Minneapolis, Minnesota. I was a governor of Minnesota, don't you know? I once wrestled Bob Backlund for an hour. But anyhow, so it's their 3rd full length, 9 songs. 41 minutes long. It's very straight ahead, abrasive death metal would be the best way I could describe it. I couldn't really think of off the top of my head bands to compare it to, but if you like very underground, again, basic abrasive death metal, and I don't say basic as an insult, it's just very meat and potatoes kind of stuff. Like I would even say, if you're familiar with my buddy Anthony over at Metal Miners, a lot of the death metal that he recommends, this would fall right into his alley of stuff, and the people who like that sort of stuff, I think you probably like that, especially it's on Everlasting Spew Records, so it's going to fall into that like vein of like their roster of bands. So it's kind of best I can tell you is it's a death metal band on Everlasting Spew Records, and if you like a lot of the stuff they put out, you'll probably enjoy this. Next up is a band called Hexorcist. They put out an album called Crucificial Imprecations. It's their 2nd full length. They're a 4-piece from Miami, Florida. It's out on Invictus. 8 songs, 30 minutes long. I would say that this is probably, if you're a fan of Angel Corpse, Morbid Angel, Nocturnus, that style of like blasting, very, very shred and riff heavy death metal, almost veering towards the blackened, bestial war metal kind of stuff. then this would be something that you'd really enjoy. I enjoyed it. It was definitely very cool. It's definitely something that I'm probably going to pick up at some point. And by the way, none of these I have copies of. It's just stuff I've been listening to. I've been trying to be I've been a little bit more frugal lately, and as far as the collecting goes, I got a couple of things which I'm going to do another video of some pickups that I picked up. Allow myself to introduce myself. But yeah, it was very good. So again, if you like that style of death metal, then you're probably going to like Hexorcist, and I would certainly recommend it. And then finally, from this most recent week, the band Sinner put an album out called Boom Bang Goodbye. It's on Raining Phoenix Music. It's 21st full length that this band has put out. I mean, I've never heard of them, but doing a little bit of research, I saw that it is Matt Sinner's band, Matt Sinner from Primal Fear. Again, I know who Primal Fear are. I've heard a couple of their songs. Honestly, the most I've listened to them is because their one guitar player, the Italian chick who's in the band, she's hot. So that caught my attention. I checked them out for a little bit. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but it's fine. And I know a lot of people, particularly European crowds, they really like that style of like very bombastic, grandiose, traditional heavy metal. This is on the same lines, but with a little bit more of a party vibe to it. If you think like Accept or Udo, Saxon, stuff like that, then Judas Priest, you'd probably really enjoy this. I mean, it was good. It's 11 songs, 43 minutes. Very much traditional, very party themed. Heavy metal, and if you're into that sort of thing, this is going to be the sort of thing that you're into. I checked it out. I enjoyed it. It's not something that I immediately rush to grab whenever I hear it or listen to on the regular, but when it's done good and it's done right, I will listen to it, like Lizzie Borden and Malice and stuff like that, and of course a lot, the big traditional bands. I love a lot of that stuff. But again, I wasn't really familiar with Sinner. I'm not really familiar with Matt Sinner's other project, Primal Fear, so I couldn't really tell you too much as far as that goes. But if that's the sort of thing that you like, then I would recommend it. And then the next week, going back to the 24th, a couple bands that I could mention. First up is going to be the band Frostbite Terror. This is a 4-piece from Turku, Finland. This is their debut full-length. It comes out on Inverse Records. I'm not really familiar with Inverse. 10 songs, 36 minutes. I would say if you're a fan of Amon Amarth, Hypocrisy, Arch Enemy, stuff like that, this will be right up your alley. Very lots of references in the songs and the lyrics to snow and freezing and stuff like that. So there's a very cold atmosphere that kind of looms large over the tenor of the album. So, I mean, it was good. I wouldn't say, I'd try and come up with some quirky, like, comparisons to, like, frost and snow and stuff like that. And I'm sorry, I've been hitting the head once too often. And sometimes the wittiness comes out smoothly. Other times it comes out like war, or it gets like a... You think it's hot crap in a champagne glass instead it's cold diarrhea in a Dixie cup. But anyhow, but yeah, it was good. And if you like stuff like that more melodic death metal stuff of that nature, then I think you'll enjoy Frostbite Terror. Go check it out. Again, it's their debut full length, and yeah, we'll see where the band goes. Next up is going to be the band Resin. Their album is called Cycles in the Infinite Dream. It comes out on Sargent House Records. This is their 6th full-length. They're a 4-piece from Chicago, Illinois. 9 songs, 42 minutes. It's heavy psych doom, if you like that sort of thing, which I do. Very much you get, if you're into like Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats, you like Monolord, maybe a little bit of Electric Wizard, it kind of fall into the same area, Conan, stuff like that. I think you'll enjoy Resin. Only check this one out once, but if you're looking to scratch that particular itch as far as heavy psych doom, I think that this will fall right into that category for you, and I think you'd really enjoy it. Next up is the band Faustian. This is Parable the Sewer. Comes out on Apocalyptic Witchcraft Recordings. This is their second full length. They're a three-piece from Melbourne, Victoria in Australia. 8 songs, 42 minutes. This is a band that features members of Gremlin, Psychroptic, the Berserker, lots of very big name Australian blackened death metal bands that have come out over the years. I thought this was really good. This was a very caustic, abrasive, straightforward black metal band. The Rot Shall Inherit the Earth is a song I would check out if you want to kind of get a general idea of what the band sounds like. Excuse me. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I thought it was really good. I'm going to keep my eyes out for it to get a copy of it. But yeah, I would say of the week of the 24th, you know, with the Friday releases and stuff like that, this was probably the one that really stood out to me. For the third week of July, I would say Faustian, Resin, and Frostbite Terror's albums are probably the ones that stood out for me. What would you say? Almost like the second, third-ish of the week, because there was three full weeks and then 2 half weeks in the month of July. So I don't know how you really break that down, like the first half week and then the next 3 full weeks or whatever. So I guess this would be the second full week, the 17th. There really wasn't much that came out that really tickled my fancy. I really didn't hear much that I really enjoyed. I listened to a couple of things. One was a tech death band, and I can only take a lot of tech death, very, very much heavy on the tech and less on the death. I can only take that in small doses. So I heard one band and I was just like, okay, cool cover, you know, cool name, but beyond that, it really didn't do much for me. And then there was like 1 or 2 others. And then trying to find stuff, because I tend to, when I'm just streaming stuff, I do it on Pandora, because I have a subscription for it. Not that you need to know all the personal details of my life, but, you know, I do a lot of it on there, because I can just pull up full albums and all that sort of thing. But a lot of stuff I was checking that seemed interesting, couldn't find it on Pandora. So going back and forth between Pandora, Bandcamp, or trying to find it on YouTube can sometimes be a giant pain in the ass, but at the same time, a lot of what I listened to, it just didn't appeal to me. So moving on, the second week of the 10th, I would say there was 2 albums that really stood out to me. One would be for the band Slow Goat, Where the Wisest Fear to Tread. They're putting this out independently. It's their debut full length. It's a follow-up to a 2024 EP. They've been around since 2021. This is, again, heavy psych doom. If you're into that sort of thing, which again I am. It's a female-fronted band, so I would say trying to draw comparisons would be appropriate to like Castle Rat or King Witch, Hippie Death Cult, stuff like that, where it's very heavy psych and doom influence, but it's got those female vocals, so it's going to have a different tenor to the sound and the style of the band versus, like, say, an Uncle Acid, or maybe like The Sword, or even more on the doomier side of things like the Candlemasses and the Solitude Eternuses, stuff like that. So it's got a little bit more, like I mentioned previously, that the one band, the album's called Trip Meadow, and I'm drawing a blank on what the name of the album is, but I am gonna tell you real quick, because it's gonna drive me nuts if I don't get this correct. Druidus, that's the name of the band. But yeah, very much 8 songs, 45 minutes. They're a 4-piece from Portland, Oregon. Again, their debut full length, another debut, and yeah, it was good. But if you like heavy psych doom stuff like that, if you're into Castle Rat, you think they're good. Hippie Death Cult, King Witch, Druidus. There's a couple others I could pull out of my rear end too, like Lucifer, stuff like that. Then I think you probably enjoy this band, and they'd be worth giving them a little listen. And then on Horror, Pain, Gore, Death Productions is the band Grim Legion, and their album Harbingers of Death. This is a 5-piece from New Jersey, Manalapan to be exact. This is their second full length. It's 10 songs, 34 minutes. This is just straight ahead brutal, not brutal in the more more commonplace sense of the brutal death metal. It's not like in the common parlance. It's not that style of death metal, but it's just very brutal, very barbaric and primal as far as the sound and the style. I would say if you're a fan of stuff like, it's going to fit in there nicely with stuff like Incantation, Suffocation, a little Deicide. You can hear a little bit of that in there. A lot of those old school flavors in this, and it's very brutal and blasting. And I would check it out. I mean, I like a lot of the stuff that Horror, Pain, Gore, Death Productions puts out. This one is no different. They, as far as the death metal goes, they tend to mix a little bit with the hardcore and the grindcore and stuff like that. But as far as death metal goes, this is a fantastic release. I know Barry from that Goat Metal show, he did a little short where he was talking about them and said how much he enjoyed this album. So, hey, we're simpatico on this one. So I definitely, if you haven't already, go check out Grim Legion. It's a fantastic death metal release that came out in the month of July. And yeah, man, go check it out. And then finally, two more releases for you that I'll mention. First up is going to be the band Soothsayer, their album The Unbinding. Another one from Apocalyptic Witchcraft Recordings. This is a label that I'm starting to find that the more stuff I'm listening to as far as new releases, I'm starting to find that there's a lot of stuff coming out from them that I'm really starting to enjoy. So they're a label that's I'll probably keep a little bit more of an eye on because they seem to have stuff that appeals to me. But this is their second full length. Aside from a couple of EPs, they're a 5-piece from Ireland, from Cork, Ireland. And it's 5 songs, 45 minutes. This is, it was hard for me to really pinpoint a way to describe this because it's considered atmospheric doom and sludge metal, but I don't necessarily get that. I get the atmospheric part from it, but I don't necessarily get the sludge aspects of it because there's not so much. There's not really elements of hardcore in there. It's more doom, and then the vocals are death metalish, but almost veering on black metal into black metal territory as far as the highs of the vocals go. But definitely very atmospheric. The songs are really long, so they'll take you on a little bit of a journey. But sonically, it definitely has a lot of those, a lot of atypical doom stylings, like the chord progressions and stuff like that. I mean, that's a lot of how the songs sound. I mean, very, very like moody and word I can use to describe it. It's just kind of like, tonally, it kind of flows nicely, instead of babbling and trying to sound like more of a genius. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and I think if you like more like atmospheric doom, and then it kind of like vocally it starts getting closer to more death metal and black metal ranges as far as the vocals go, I think you'll enjoy this. It was a pleasant little surprise that I checked out over the course of the month. And then finally is the band Mortem and their album Morketid. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Morketid. This came out on Peaceville Records. So again, this might be another one that's probably like a bigger one, but I wasn't really familiar with the band. I guess they've been around since the late 80s. It's got Hellhammer on drums, features Steiner Johnson, who's in Arcturus, which I never really listened to Arcturus. I've heard the name, but never really listened to him. I know Hellhammer is and his history with a lot of the bigger bands, particularly Mayhem, and I just never heard of these guys before. I really enjoyed it. It's their second full length. They're 4-piece from Oslo, Norway, so it's going to have a lot of. They want to draw comparisons. It's going to be a lot of the stuff that Hellhammer's involved with, like your Mayhems and the Arcturuses. Probably a lot of comparisons to Old Funeral and Dead's old band. I'm drawing a blank on what the name of the band, Morbid. Probably a lot of stuff like that, I would say. Or at least that's how he's trying to come up with comparisons, and I cheated and looked on Metal Archives. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. As far as like very, very good quality black metal with maybe a little bit more of not so much raw as far as the production goes, but definitely as far as the tone and the tenor and the thematically, I would say that this one is definitely one worth your time and effort to check out. Probably at some point I'll end up picking this one up. I still got to pick up that other release from Peaceville, the album that Mork put out, and yeah, I'll probably do that. But I said the same thing about the Dark Throne, and I was going to pick up the Dark Throne and the Mork, and then I found the Dark Throne locally. So maybe I'll get lucky. I'll go to one of the local record shops here, and I'll find both of them, and then I don't have to deal with all the online stuff. But other than that, yeah, that's what I got. That's what I've been listening to on top of some of the other stuff. Again, I'm probably going to put out a little like collection update, stuff that I picked up kind of thing. I found what would be for me a grail of sorts, and there's a story behind getting that one, so I'd like to share that with everybody and hopefully entertain people with all the pointless, mundane endeavors that I involve myself in when it comes to listening and purchasing heavy metal albums and all the stuff that I like to listen to, and the stuff that keeps me kind of on the same side. Not entirely on the same side, but mostly on the same side. Other than that, I don't got much interesting in the way to tell you, so I guess I'll finish it out there. And as always, this is Dan. This has been Moonshine Talking. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you're new here, welcome aboard. Hopefully you enjoy the channel. Check it out. Got a little bit of a little bit more people than what I normally get watching my stuff after finding me the thing, like the recap of the first half of the year, which I thought was kind of funny. That I was trying to check other people's videos out, and one of the first things I see is my stupid face, and I'm like, oh boy, that's kind of disturbing, having to see that right away, that mirror image. But anyhow, as always, stay sick, stay heavy, stay brutal, always tuck your chin upon impact. Don't forget to breathe, keep headbanging, iron slanging. Everybody have a good one, take it easy, and I will catch you on the next video. Later.